Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric Foster, co-founder of the Future Today and Tomorrow Super PAC. I want to make this video specific to my brothers and sisters in the clean energy space because just like we've been doing with the Changemaker initiative for the cannabis sector, cannabis and hemp, I believe that change makers also needed for the clean energy industry. Let me explain why. So, during the Biden administration, when that administration applied demand side economic policy principles to economic activity, demand side capitalism has its roots in the way FDR approached the infusion of the federal government and government as a part of the demand economic activity pillars that stimulates overall economic growth, along with propping up the consumer individual, the education nonprofit, which, if you prop up all three, that supports the corporate and business sector. It's four legs of the stool of the table, people. Supply side believes that you prop up the corporate side, business side, and that for that side, all of the other activities can flow. But if you've seen a card table, and if you've grown up like me, a kid of the 70s, y'all know what a card table is. It's one of them, little tables with the little fold out chairs, and somebody would play cards on them, or they get out the Scrabble, put the Scrabble on the card table and get the Scrabble. You came from a black neighborhood in the 70s if your Scrabble pieces were in a Crown Royal bag, because that is the bag for Scrabble pieces in the hood and in the neighborhood. But I digress. Four legs to hold up this table. Three legs are infused from demand side, one leg from supply side. Three can prop up a table better than one can. How this relates to the clean energy industry is because under the Biden administration, the clean energy industry got the support of a demand side economic approach to infuse and grow the sector. And what did the sector do? The sector grew. Billions of dollars of investment, thousands of clean energy manufacturing facilities to produce parts and supplies to power clean energy systems and infrastructure, people saving money by having clean energy alternatives. This was working. And unfortunately, when the election took place, the MAGAverse took over. And these people, it feels like they want to go back to the horse and buggy, a time where we were getting around on steam and just finding out about oil and gas. Well, that's nice if you're thinking about a world in the 1890s as, Trump, the orange terrorist leader, as I call him, and the MAGA side is thinking, but the 1890s were not really good for anybody. And so, to that particular point, sorry for looking down, I was looking at my phone, but to that particular point, we've seen a full on attack and regression on the good work that the clean energy industry was doing, the jobs that were created, and more importantly, the opportunities that came forward for diverse businesses and communities from clean energy investment. And right now, billions of dollars worth of projects that were going on have ground to a halt or have stopped because of this regime. So, clean energy sector And I've worked in the energy sector for a while, both work with Clean Energy Business Network and then separately at Banks and Company as a contractor to Clean Energy Business Network, and also through the Strengthening Black Mayors Initiative with the Illinois State Black Chamber. The clean energy sector is not going to be able to put out press statements and generally engage and try to demonstrate the positives and win the MAGA folks back to the side of supporting clean energy because of the greater good. These people don't care about the greater good. The best way for the clean energy industry to grow and survive is to change the lawmakers, to change the regulatory environment, to change the future. And by doing that, we're actually saving the planet because, unlike in Marvel, we don't have a Tony Stark that can build us ships to get us off this planet if we end up killing the planet, which we're really on the way to do. And we don't have a Reed Richards like in the 828 universe to find ways to save the planet and keep people from messing up the planet. We are where we are here in Earth 616 without those people that can save the day. So we have to, but part of saving the day requires electing people who actually want to save the planet. And I say this as a Christian because some of the people in the MAGAverse who are anti clean energy and also don't believe that we are destroying the planet as human beings say, well, God won't let the planet go to destruction. But what they're missing is when God asked Adam, not asked, told Adam to be a steward to his creation, that didn't mean, well, Adam, I want you to be a steward, but if you really mess it up, then I'll come in a couple acts, a couple chapters later and I'll fix it and I'll clean it up. That meant take care of the stuff I've given you. And we're not taking care of what was given. So you're not following Christian doctrine when it comes to how we're supposed to treat the land and the earth that we've been given. The way to make this work is to do things to save it and shift away from things that aren't. There is no Green New Scam and all that crap. So we're not even going to entertain that language, and we're not going to talk in the terms that the horse and buggy crowd want us to talk in. We're going to talk in the terms of, do you want to die because we're killing the planet? Or do you want to live and we save the planet? And in doing that, we have to start firing people who are objectively opposed to saving the planet. It's like the villains in the Bond movie. If we have a chance to vote them out of the Bond movie, James Bond's life would have been a whole lot simpler if he could have voted to get rid of Odd Job, Goldfinger, Blofeld, others. But he didn't have that choice. He had to go through the stuff to get rid of them. Well, right now, we have that choice. We can vote out the people who are anti clean energy, anti reducing costs for people, and anti saving the planet. So, clean energy industry. We at the Changemaker Initiative, which is an initiative under the Future Today and Tomorrow Super PAC, would love to be able to start working with stakeholders to start discussing how do we get everybody together and collectively go after starting to change the elected officials to change our future. I think there's common cause between the cannabis and hemp sector and and clean energy, but also I think there's common cause with expanding workers' rights. So, like with the groups that have been pushing and fighting for things around paid sick leave, paid time off, paid family leave, minimum wage increases, women's bodily autonomy and abortion rights, and other ballot initiatives that have passed and then have had MAGA majority legislatures repeal and strip or kill those initiatives. It's time for us to start common causing and working together because we are reflective of the majority, but we're not getting the outcomes because we're not firing the bond villains that we keep elected. I'm sorry, but you keep electing our job because our job says, well, I'm against certain books in schools. And you think, sounds okay. Our job is our job. He will take that hat off and hurt you. Stop voting for our job. Stop voting for Goldfinger. Stop voting for Blofeld. Vote for M. Vote for James Bond. Vote for Moneypenny. Vote for Felix Unger. Or Felix Leiter. It's not Unger. Felix Leiter. I'm mixing my Felixes together. But vote for the good guys who actually want to save the day, who actually have a common sense approach to how we make this work, who believe that clean energy is the way because it is. It's just evolution of business. Business doesn't stay static, it grows and evolves, but it needs industrial policy support from a supportive government to help foster it until it gets its sea legs. It's raising a child. You don't birth a baby and then throw that baby and say, okay, well, I need you to go get a job and start contributing to the rent in your first year. You have to support that baby to become an adult, to hopefully be able to go out and be a proud, positive representative of you and what you put into that child. Well, it's the same thing for industry, and that's why we need to have a responsive and responsible government to help. So let's talk. Changemaker Initiative wants to start this conversation. Let's change the lawmakers to change our regulatory environment, to change our future. Let's start firing some people. They seem happy to fire people who are trying to work for the greater good. Let's get happy firing them and let's see how they survive in a world where they have to compete equally with everybody. Thank you. See you on the other side.